Let's go. Legend. 1, 2, 3, go.
Hello and welcome to the Community Comic-Con podcast. Today we're doing something different. We're having a couple of traders as it's coming very, very close to our Comic-Con in Lytham on the 2nd of August. So joining us today is Kay from the Devils Diamondz and Allan and Hannah from the Comic Book Frames. Hello, guys.
Hello. Hello.
So as we said, guys, we're running a Comic-Con soon on the 2nd of August. We're going to have the Devils Diamondz there. Do you want to introduce yourself, Kay, and tell us a little bit about Devils Diamondz?
Hi, I'm Kay, and 2 years ago we launched the Devils Diamondz. We'd been doing diamond art for a number of years, but found it very frustrating not being able to find kits of images that I was into, such as horror, for example. And asking around in all the different diamond art groups, other people were having the same problem. You can get them from abroad, but there's not many suppliers in the UK. And so Devils Diamondz launched with 15 designs, all horror, and has quickly grown into popular culture, TV, the legends, dragons, fantasy, and we are having such a blast doing it and bringing it to people who didn't know this type of diamond art existed.
So where did the name come from, the Devils Diamondz?
Well, we were struggling. We are a small family business, and none of us could think of one. And a good friend of mine, Nicola, sort of messaged us saying, "Oh, we want to do this, but we can't think of a name." And she immediately went, "The Devil's Diamonds," and so it was born.
And you said you started with horror. Was that because that was your genre? You like horror?
Yes, I love horror. I love other genres as well, but horror I've always enjoyed. So we started with some very simple horror, easily recognizable characters. The Exorcist, Hellraiser, Pinhead from Hellraiser, for example, and it just grew and kept on growing.
So what's your favourite horror?
My favourite horror, it's probably The Exorcist or Hellraiser. Images, we get to have some really good fun with images like Ghostface, for example. So cartoons, we've got a kit that has Ghostface but surrounded with butterflies and roses, for example. So we always try and go for the different styles that you wouldn't expect to see.
And did the other genres came because people was coming up to you and asking you for them other genres, or was it just it was more that with the Comic
It was a
Cons?
mixture of both. It was a natural progression, but we launched on Facebook and people sort of said, "Oh, can you get this? Can you get that?" And it grew and it keeps growing. And we added the retro range last year. So very 80s, Lost Boys, Hocus Pocus, Beetlejuice. And then people started asking for dragons. So then we produced a dragons range. So we try and listen to when people come to us and say, "Can you get, do you do?" And we try our best. It's not always possible, but we always give it a good go.
So you've got some items behind you there.
We have.
What have we got?
We have a range. We make the kits up and frame them and sell them as such, because not everybody likes doing diamond art, but we sell the kits for people to make themselves. However, then we started making coasters. So we've got horror, for example, we've got dragons, candle holders soon became very popular. So now we sell all the accessories as well. So new pens, different wax, things like that.
And what's the most popular item?
Right. So I was thinking about this earlier. Any of the ghost face is always in demand. We also have, and we're of a certain age, things like The Exorcist, Hellraiser, but we moved to modern ones as well. So we've got the Terrifier, for example. Chuck is always a fun one. And then the retro range, things like, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this one.
Yeah.
That's the Never-Ending Story, which was from my childhood.
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus and Doctor Who, the episode with the Van Gogh episode, we have a kit for that, and they always sell well.
Yeah, it sounds like it's very much like ours, isn't it?
Yeah.
With this similar type of what sells really well is the same type of stuff what sells well for us as
The
well.
80s like retro.
80s retro, yeah.
Yeah. That's certainly been very big recently.
Yeah. So anything like Lost Boys or anything from the 80s,
Labyrinth, Labyrinth.
I've got a David Bowie from Labyrinth one, and that again has just started taking off. We only found that one by accident, so yeah.
Yeah. That's what we've
So we've also got Allan and Hannah from Comic Book Frames. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your business?
Yeah, I always struggle to remember the year we started.
Well, we started it as a hobby, so it's like most stuff. It starts off, you don't really remember when it actually just started because it didn't do that. It became a hobby, and then
Sort of
hobby
naturally
progressed into a business, which the business did start up right at the beginning of COVID, didn't it? Just before COVID started.
A couple of years
probably
maybe before COVID.
No, the actual business.
Well, yeah.
As a setup as a business from a hobby to a business was probably a month before COVID hit, because I remember us setting it up and then thinking, let's do this as a business, and then COVID happened and
that's
nothing happened after that. That was great. That was the thing. And by then,
so you're saying it was a hobby. So how did that come about? It was just because you like comic books and.
Well, it was a mixture. We went to Preston Comic-Con.
Yeah. One of my friends' partners at the time, he had a store, didn't he? And I was like, oh, I've heard about this. Let's go to this. And we'd never been to one before. Literally, we just stopped for nothing to do at one weekend, didn't we? And then we ended up like sat on the seats around the edge because it was at the old Guildhall in Preston. So the seats all the way around the edge. We ended up just getting a drink, didn't we? And sitting and watching the chaos of Comic-Con. And we were like, oh, we quite like this. Chilling out with Spider-Man and
and we were like, how can we get involved in this and do it regularly, because we enjoy this? And the first thing that jumped out was that there were loads of brilliant artists there, but they were all just selling the pieces of paper or the prints. The prints, and it was like, well, what about a frame to put it in? And I upcycled furniture. I was upcycling furniture then, wasn't I? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I thought, well, why not just like decoupage a frame, and then people can stick their artwork inside it.
And then we went around loads of like charity shops and we're just buying old frames. So we had all sorts of different shapes and sizes. I feel like we even did a mirror at one point.
Yeah, we did a mirror. We did all sorts of stuff, all different types. We did chairs, tables. We did quite a few different.
You ended up doing the young boys' wheelchair.
Rims. little lads' wheelchair rims and stuff, and decoupage and stuff. Yeah, and then but the frames, our friends and family liked them. But again, your friends and family, they're going to like whatever you put out. So it was a case of let's give it a go, and we went to Bolton.
Yeah, it was like in an old church.
Tiny little thing, Bolton, and we sold out, didn't we? Well,
we sold a lot.
Sold a lot compared to the footfall. So we were like, oh,
obviously there's a market for it. Okay,
give this a go, and then
it just went from buying the charity shop ones to you found like a wholesaler that did them, and you were like, right, okay, let's buy a few boxes.
Let's buy a few boxes of frames and decoupage them and keep them all regimented.
Well, like people know, I've probably said this a few times on the podcast. I've been doing it for over 25 years, going to comic cons, and like you said, I've got so many pictures that I was putting them into just normal frames. But then I met you lot at the Comic Con, and I think that's what brought me over, was because, like I said, I've never seen that before. So it was like, oh, I can put my pictures in there. I can put my comic books in there. So that's how we kind of met.
Yeah. And we've met loads of brilliant people, haven't we, along the way? Yeah. I even where did we meet you, Kate? Was it in Scotland? I think we met, and then I feel like it was a long way away, considering.
And then we found out we were local to each other.
We were right next to each other. Yeah.
I've got a funny feeling it may have been Liverpool, actually.
Yeah, might have been. Yeah, I know it was a distance away, and we were chatting, and it was like, oh, I live in Fleetwood, and it's like, we live in Thornton. So yeah.
But don't you find that traders, we kind of all get to meet each other, and we all keep in touch, and we all, when they say the Comic-Con family, they truly mean it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the traders, we all know each other. I refer as the Comic-Con traders. I refer as a circus because we're just it's the same people traveling around to different locations. So where are we this weekend? Oh, we're in such a place. Oh, we are as well. So I'll see you there.
But you'll be wheeling your stuff and you're like, oh look, there's that.
Yeah.
Oh look, there's that. And you're like, hi, and then you go and chat to them later on. It's like yeah.
Or even go out for a drink and stuff because like Kay said, it is like a little family. So there's lots of times like I think who did you have on the comic books? What's it called? Name Matt from What If?
Oh, Matt Stevenson, yeah.
Yeah, so again we've been out drinking with Matt and stuff on a night out when it's been a double weekend and stuff, and we've been out for meals as well during double weekends, haven't we?
Yeah.
I suppose it helps you guys as well because, like I said, people don't see the setting up, the coming down. So, like I said, having that other traders with you, to chat, to experience what it's like, to pull off each other, it does help in the quiet times, in the setting up, in the going down and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, things like when you get new people coming into Comic-Cons and stuff, and new traders, and you help them out and stuff, and you say, "Oh, this is," and you advise them where like the good Comic-Cons are, the type thing and stuff. And
you and Hannah both have helped me develop the setup of my stall from the very beginning, which was very, very basic, and seeing its progression. You were part of that. You gave me lots of good advice.
Oh, thank you. But I
think that helps, doesn't it? Because, like I said, sometimes it's just positioning something. Like I said, just on an angle, just to get them customers looking or
to attract them over. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and I mean, it's not just us that do that. It's all the traders. All the traders will chip in and turn around and say, "Oh, have you thought about doing this? Have you thought about doing that?" And then leave it up to you to decide whether you want to go down that route or not and stuff.
Or you'll go and have a look around other people's stalls before you open, and you'll think, "Oh, that's a good idea." And all you have to do is ask them, "Where did you get that stand from?" Or "How did you create that look?" And that helped me in particular, like really develop the stall and how we set up and what we use as stands, for example. Because if it looks good to the customer, they're going to come over, and we love the customers coming over so we can explain what diamond art is if they don't know. But it's got to look good for them to want to come and have a look.
Yeah,
it's also having that chatting as well, with interaction basically with the customers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even things like you say about other traders and stuff, and having a look at them. I mean, even things like this week, I've seen. I think Dario from is it A1 Toys? No,
DNA
Toys. Yeah, DNA Toys. Dario from DNA Toys. He has now he got somebody to 3D print a payment stand. So he puts his PayPal payment card reader in the stand with his cards at the side. And it looks really, really cool. And I'm like, with his name on, and I'm like, oh, well, I might get in contact with this person and see whether he make us one and stuff. So yeah, things like that. And an interaction, like you say, Paul, with the customers. That's what we like the best, and that's why we do it. Is simply because we get to geek out.
Yeah.
About so we'll have a frame, and there'll be.
And we'll be like, oh, which one are you eyeing up?
Which one are you eyeing up? Not because we're going in and going to hard sell them. It's just because we're interested.
Or if it's a new film or series, like, oh, have you watched?
Yes.
Yeah. For instance, Grogger.
If I had £1 every time somebody walked past the stall and went, oh, diamond art, it's shiny. But I didn't know you could get diamond art in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, yeah, it's good to get feedback on what to do next as well. So when somebody comes over and says, "Do you do this?" and you're like, "Oh, that's a good idea, isn't it?" Because that's got a cult following as well. So it'd be a thing, and things like keeping up to date with things like our little green friend Grogu. We went to watch it last night.
Finally went to watch it last night because I was away last week. So you had to wait a whole week for me to get home to watch it because
I'm hoping to go this week.
But
that's what it is, isn't it? Though, keeping up as well. And like I said to Kay before, customers will come up to Kay and say, do you do this? Do you do that? Yes, everybody, your 80s and 90s will always sell because of that. Not the time, it never goes away. But people still want updated things, like say Stranger Things and stuff like that. And the boys.
It still surprises me when youngsters sort of 18, 19 are asking us for things that were our generation, like the Lost Boys or David Bowie from Labyrinth. They are iconic images and films that even the youngsters want.
Yeah, and especially with streaming now, with like Netflix and stuff, is that they're now watching programs like obviously we've got like a buffet, so younger people are coming up and now they've watched Buffy, and I'm always like amazed by what you look like 20 years old.
Yeah, there's
how have you managed to watch Buffy? It's like. But then you remember that everything's now streamed, and you can go back and watch whatever programs and stuff. And then frames that we've just shown, then we now do like landscape. It's just the latest,
which I've been asking for years.
Yeah. So now we've started doing landscape as well, so that you can put like your guest pictures in there as well, not just like your comic book frames in your bigger ones.
But like I said, they're not just for pictures. I've put my own comic books in them. They fit perfectly and they look amazing in there, and they keep it clean. So there's other stuff you can put in them.
Yeah. And they do look cool and stuff.
So, okay, how did the comic world start with you? Was you a Comic-Con fan before you did your business, or?
I came to the Comic-Con world quite late, really. I was approaching 50. And I really wanted to go to a Comic-Con. And so my kids and my husband all clubbed together and off we went for a weekend one. I met some incredible people. And I noticed that there were a lot of traders that were selling things that I loved. Vampires, again, the 80s retro, horror. And it was like, and then later on, when I started looking for diamond art kits in those genres and realizing that there weren't many, it was like, hang on, can we combine the two, our love of Comic Cons and the business? And yes, we can, and we are.
Yeah, because I popped into your shop, didn't I?
You did, yes.
Yeah, I popped into your shop and like seen the other amazing stuff that you do.
Well, yes, we used to run another business with wax melt for 5 years, but gradually the diamond art has just took over, and there came a point we had to decide, were we going to continue both, but it meant splitting us all the time, our time as a family, or were we going to concentrate on one? And when we had that conversation, it was quite easily the diamond art and Comic Cons and horror conventions. It won.
So you said your daughter, does she get involved with it all as well?
She does. She's started doing TikToks for us. She's normally at university, but he's home for the summer now. So she's looking forward to coming along on a few trips with us. My husband is the general dog's body and carrying of all things heavy. And he has a little notepad behind the store where when somebody says, have you got or can you get, he writes it down, and for the following week, I don't hear from him. He's just there on his tablet looking for all the different things that we've been asked if we can get.
That's what I mean. I don't think customers actually realise that you do try to accommodate them. You do try to say, yeah, we are listening. It's not that we're
Yeah.
not listening. Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And the list and your listing is massive. People turn around and says, "Oh, okay, do you do commissions?" And it's like, I don't do commissions, but I do requests.
Take suggestions.
I take suggestions and I can put them on my list. And when I've got time, because of making ones and then when I've got time, I'll go through my list and I'll pick out the ones I think, I could sell them a few times. And then I'll make them, but it's finding that spare time to then.
It's also when you're at the Comic-Con as well. You have all these buckets and stuff like that. But do you know what you're taking? Do you kind of have a general feeling? Because obviously you can't take everything. Is it just basically on that Comic-Con? So if it's like a horror one, you're just going to take all horror, or
that's what we do. And if there's certain franchises that are being showcased at that event, we will try wherever possible to bespoke our store setup and what we take. But again, it's not always possible.
No.
Yeah, we're the same. We're exactly the same. So it's just a case of, right, look at our stock. What guests have they got coming?
Yeah.
What's out in the movies? What's out and what's popular currently? So, for instance, we'll have Mando and Grogu. If we had one this weekend, we'd have that definitely out.
Yeah.
But we'd also have whatever guests are there, and it is weighing up because you've only got your car or your van to put in, so you've got limited stock that you can bring with you.
Yeah.
So
we did buy a bigger car.
Yeah.
So I had to invest at one point.
We used to get 4 boxes in, now we can get 12.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we've just bought a bigger car as well for that same reason.
But
that adds to all the costs, though, doesn't it? You don't really think about buying a bigger car is added to your business cost, but it has, because you needed that bigger car.
Yeah,
and things like as well. But when you bring more stuff, you're relying on the organisers to give you enough space to put your stock.
Because obviously the frames take up quite big boxes, so it's all very well and good when we take a lot of boxes, but then it's like if you haven't got the room behind your store to put the boxes, there's things like that
we've turned up to some, and there's been room to put a chair behind it, and then
if you're looking,
and you're like, well, where am I supposed to put my stuff? We went to one which was in a shopping centre, and
the tables were literally against the wall,
and they said you had to put your stock in a room about 100 meters away. So every time we make one sale, we've got to walk 100 meters there to grab it out the box, and then 100 meters back.
We didn't.
So
I suppose you have to not only just, like I said, get on with the other traders as well, because like you've just said, it's tight spaces. So you're always having to communicate with each other, going, I'm going out, you go in, I'm going out, you're going, kind of thing, because like I said, you're all behind there, so it's very tight.
Yeah, and that's what we said about the family. What Kay said about like it being a family, because you have to get on, because you're in such a tight space, and they're like, oh well, we're not using that tiny little bit of space there, so you can push that into there. We're fine with that type thing, and
and that happens more than people realise, doesn't it?
Yeah, loads of times. And like some organisers like push tables right up to each other and stuff, and it's like, oh, I've got things that you can knock off and break, and it's like, So and people trying to squeeze past and all that. Yeah, it can be a bit of a nightmare. Logistics as well.
You've got to be fairly flexible, although you might have an idea of how you want it set up when you get there. Sometimes we have to be flexible so the customers can see what we're selling, but that it's safe and we can manage all the expectations of producing a really good stall.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like you say, the flexibility is important. We've got a set up in our head already, an ideal setup in our head, what we would like. However, chances are
It never happens. Yeah.
it's not going to happen like that, because you're not going to get the space, or you're going to
Rarely.
So yeah, so we tend to do double racking, don't we? So we have it like stacked up like steps going up. To do that, you need extra space behind, and you don't usually get that. So we have to take the extra racking on top, just in case you have got that space.
Yeah, we take a variety of stands, because you never know if you're going to fit all the stands on. And if they're too close to the edge of the table, you don't want them knocked off.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of like thinking going into it, and like I think Kate nailed it with the saying the word flexibility. You got to be flexible. You can't just turn around and say, "Well, this is my setup and I'm sticking with it," because it ain't going to happen. It's the case.
We used to take extra kits, extra designs in case we had an empty box. Now we take the catalogues, folders of what we have got, but maybe we haven't taken. So if somebody says, do you have Chucky, and perhaps we haven't taken any Chucky designs, I can show them in the folder, and if they're interested, I can either post them out or deliver them. Because as much as I would love to get every single design we have on a table, it's not going to happen.
It's impossible.
We're approaching 90 odd designs, different designs in just the picture kits at the moment. I can't get them all on a table.
Yeah, we're exactly the same. We show them our website, don't we?
Yeah.
And the way you put it into our books as well is that comiccons are really go down as marketing, because you're then having to make the sale later on stuff, because you can't bring everything. You can't. It's impossible to bring everything that everybody wants.
We rely a lot on the business cards. We're like,
take a business card. Websites on the business card websites on the, and we do get a lot. A majority of our sales now is through our website.
Do you notice the sales rising then straight after the Comic Con, so you can see that you're
massively.
So
we'll have a 2 week wave after. Comic-Con.
I don't have a website yet. That is currently being sorted. But for me, we look at how many new people join the Facebook page, for example.
Yeah, social media.
And that gives us an idea.
You said you post it out if you've not got it. So how do they contact you then? Is it through Facebook?
Through Facebook, mainly through Facebook. People will drop us a message. I can send them. If they say, "Oh, have you got Ghostface?" for example, I can send, because we have 3 different designs of Ghostface just in the picture kits, and they'll let me know, and we get it posted out to them. So that's the nice thing. The kits are very small, so they go out really easily.
I suppose it helps as well, because another big frustration that I see a lot with traders, especially at Comic Cons, is the Wi-Fi, the payments.
Yeah.
We for us, the solution is have your phone with your own internet, so don't just rely on the
venue.
The cons, the venue.
But also, then it can still go with it, because if it rains outside and everybody comes inside,
then you're not even your own.
You're still stuck.
But if you manually then take it down to like 4G or even 3G, sometimes that's better than using the automatic kind of.
Yeah. So again, the trader family, somebody next to us turned around and said, just lower your so don't use your 5G, knock it down to 4G, and because most people will be using 5G. It's like so knocking down, and it's like, how do you do that? I'm not good at technology. So they're like, come here, let me show you, like this, and they'll show you and stuff, and it's like, oh, that's a nifty little
But
trick.
we've still had nightmare events where you can't even do that, and you're like, come with me over to the fire escape.
Come over to the fire escape.
Wave it outside.
we had one at Wigan, and they kept promising us the Wi-Fi, and it never arrived, and our own networks just weren't coping. They gave us the Wi-Fi password 20 minutes before the doors were shut by the end of the day.
That's no good, is it?
No. But
So
I
that's what we
found
always
as
say. So
well,
we always tell people to bring cash, and it's not because of anything else. It's just because
No.
the Wi-Fi is
Yeah,
absolutely terrible.
Rely on it.
You can't rely on it, and it's just so simple to determine. God, there's some money. I mean, obviously, then you've got to bank it and stuff, and it's a bit more complicated that way. But at least you ain't got the stress of
Technology.
yeah.
Oh, it's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. Is like, come on, go through. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen other traders, using each other's, so that's good as well. Because, like you said, saying, "Oh, is yours working? Can I use yours?" kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Or somebody like the trader next to you will let our customer pay on their machine and they'll give us the cash, or vice versa. We've done. It really is a big help, because that's one of the things you never know if it's going to be okay on the day.
And like I said, that's your bread and butter. So you kind of need to earn your rent, really, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does the calendar look for you guys? Do you basically start in January and have a look? Do you have to do your research and then start applying for these comic cons, or how does that process work? Because people just think you just turn up with a table, but that's not how it works, is it?
There's a lot of applying for things. Obviously, my health hasn't been so good, so we're not doing as many events yet this year. So we're going to be working online more, getting the website up. But yeah, normally we start in January looking at events and locations and things like that, and then you just apply, and it's just a constant case of applying for as many as you can.
Yeah, so for us, our season starts in March, so we don't do. So there are occasional conventions in January and Feb, but we don't.
We've always found that people are pretty skint still from like Christmas.
Yeah, straight after Christmas. Yeah,
and obviously January is like 3 times as long as any other month. So we've always thought it was a bit sort of not really worth it, because people are thingy, aren't they? So you always take those couple of months to like get your stock back up, particularly over Christmas is always our busiest period.
Yeah.
So you always set yourself a deadline like middle of December for like postage, obviously, and then obviously you have a nice break over Christmas, and then January, February is like restock and anything new tends to be done in those couple of months. As well. So, like if he's had any new things or any new films coming out that year or whatever, he'll look ahead and be like, right, I'm going to make that one.
And then it's all go again
March really.
March to this. Well, I would say March to end of November, and then December's just all online, and it just gets crazy. Just
for the Christmas presents.
Christmas presents coming through. Yeah. So we tend to like do it a week before the final postage of post office, because we find obviously it says it takes about 3 working days, but come Christmas, you can easily double that. And
with them being handmade, sometimes if it's not in stock, then you need the extra couple of days just to make it.
Them. Yeah.
So you can't just have the postage on the actual last day. You've got to think ahead in case you've got to make it.
Last year, I was asked 2 weeks before Christmas, could I do one of these pictures? As in make it, frame it and get it out. And I think the quickest I've got one of these down to now is 15 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's pushing it over 2 days just to get it out so that they've got it. And you can't do that on a regular basis.
No.
It's not possible.
No, and we're the same. I mean, we've got stock lined up, but if it needs to be made, because we've got drying processes. So so for instance, with the decoupage, it takes like, so the first thing is to cut it out. So we've got the design and stuff, so we know what we're going for and that. But then it's the cutting out. Then you put in the glue on, which then takes, you're probably looking at half a day for the glue to dry. Then you've got to put on the coat of varnish, which is going to take a full day.
Yeah.
And then the second coat of varnish, which is another full day. So you're looking at
3 days.
2.5 days, 3 days when you add it all up and stuff. So you're looking at 3 days to get one out from nothing to being ready to go.
Wow.
So the contact time is only, I'm only spending
once
not even
you've done
15
the design,
minutes.
The design takes you a long time, doesn't it? Because you like to tie all the colours in.
about 10 minutes or 15 minutes on each frame is my contact time, but it's the drying process.
Yeah.
So we have, so when we're making them, we have them in stages. So we have some that are ready to be glued, ready to be first varnish, ready to be second varnish. So, and they're in sets of, usually I do 6, but I can do 12 a day, you know, as in like each section, 12 a day.
Yeah.
So then there's a constant flow of frames coming off. But then when somebody says, I need this, and it's Christmas, and it's like 2 weeks away, and it's like, it ain't happening. It really isn't happening.
See, it'll take me 15 hours to put all the drills on the piece, but then I've got to seal it, and I usually do 2 coats. And like you were saying about the drying time, people don't always understand. It's not just a case of sticking a few bits together. It really does take time.
Yeah. And like you say, it's the
I think that's what people don't understand. That. Yeah, and don't forget, guys, you're not got a warehouse. You've not got Umpa Lumpers doing all this for you. You're doing it all yourselves.
I mean, I rent. We decided to lease a little workshop, which is where I am now, and that's a huge help because we quickly outgrew a spare bedroom. But we're saving now for the machine where we will make our own kits, so it will be our designs. We're a way off yet, but that's the next step for us. So
that's
when people say, can you do, we can design the image ourselves and we'll have the machine to do it. Fingers crossed.
It's like it works with yours, Alan, isn't it? It's like, does it have to have a comic book to actually do your frame? No, so you can. We did do stills at one point, didn't we? Film stills. But I don't. We just didn't. It just didn't come across right. It just didn't look as good as the comic book ones. I don't know. So I just didn't feel like.
So you could do it, but I could do it.
So I could do it, but
so you don't do it unless
I just don't do it. Yeah. Although we did use stills for The Last of Us because from the game stills from that instead of comics. And we used the poster stills from Stranger Things as well, because they have got comics out there. But the difficult for us is when the comics have different artists that design the comics, so they don't tie in then to the colours or even the drawings don't tie in with the rest of them. And because we have like it takes 12 strips each frame to make an A4 frame, and to find the 12 strips, the right size, the right colour, the right design, with the right characters on, would take so use that one as an example, would take like, so this is the Guardian Infinity Game. Endgame. What? Endgame. Yeah. So it's about getting the colours, and then we just get a poster, a film poster, and put the film poster in, but we make sure that it ties in with the colours around the frame, and that's the hardest part. Is just going through the comics and finding the right colours to go with the right art and stuff. So designing one can take, like, on average, it's about 8 hours. About 8 hours going through the comic, getting the right strip, going, no, that doesn't work with that one. So it takes about 8 hours to design one. But once it's designed, you've got it. You know which ones you know which ones to go through and all that lot. So then it's a lot easier. But so when somebody says, "Can you make a new one to do such a thing?" It's like, well, that's going to take a average 8 hours to make, to design it. So is that worth, say, making 12 frames in that 8 hours? Yeah. No, is it
one I'm gonna sell multiple times?
Yeah. Or is it something I've never even heard of, and just this one person likes that?
Just wants one frame, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah, and it's not because we sell them for 20 quid, so it's not worth £20. But if it's one that I know, oh yeah, we could be able to sell that over and over and over again, type thing, then it makes it worth doing. And I'm guessing that's the same with UK, is it?
It is, yeah. And I mean, we're limited. It's like at the moment we've had a few requests for kits from because season 4's just come out. No, can't get them. I've tried everywhere, all my suppliers, and I look every day at new designs all the time. So the idea of us having the machine that can make them ourselves, we'll be able to produce fan art and would be a lot easier, because when we import them, we've then got the wait getting them here. And a lot of the time, the reason we're doing so well is that people want them at the event. They don't want to wait 3 weeks till it comes from abroad. So that's why we import them. But if we can lose the import time and use that time instead to design, for us, that would be much better.
Yeah.
But again, is it going to be the same as what Alan's just said? Are you going to be designing just for that one person, or is it going to be a design that you think?
It would depend on what they wanted. If we thought, oh, that's a good one, or other people had asked for the same thing. There are some we just can't get hold of, copyright reasons, or they're just not in demand.
Yeah, we're same as I think there's some that we can. So for most films, there's a comic out there for. However, Terrifier is an absolute nightmare. There is a comic now out of Terrifier, but they did limited edition, and it was like, oh, and there's no way of getting hold of it. And I know I'd be able to sell loads.
Yeah, you'd be able to sell loads of that.
Yeah, we added the Terrifier last year because we kept getting asked for it. And funny story, I'm sure my daughter won't appreciate me telling this, but she said, if I marry a man, he's got to be the Terrifier.
So he's got.
But if I marry a woman, it's Jessica Rabbit. So how do we go from Jessica Rabbit to the Terrifier? But we do. The Terrifier is very popular, and I don't like to admit it, but I actually added that one before I'd even watched the film because we'd been asked for it several times.
Yeah.
So you wanted to know what it was all about?
Yeah. And I really enjoyed it.
But like Kay, we've thought about like getting an artist to do fan art of Terrifier, doing of Art the Clown, and maybe doing one round with their art and stuff, because then we can then sell it type thing.
Yeah.
So it's whether we can get hold of an artist really to go on and do that type thing, and who to use and what, you know.
Yeah, it's who to trust as well.
Yeah. Because, and again, would we do that constantly for all of them? No, but I think Terrifier would sell. So it's something that we would then consider. And then it's how much the artist is going to charge and whether they
that eats away at your profit. And people don't realise we work on really small profit margins. Yeah. People are often surprised that we don't pay ourselves minimum wage.
No.
But if I was to charge minimum wage for the 15 hours it's taken me to put that together, then the time ceiling, there's no way I'd be able to sell.
No.
At all.
No.
You have to have a passion and a joy for what you're doing, I think, as well.
Yeah, and people, I think, don't appreciate how much you pay for tables. And I mean, you're looking at a really small comiccon. You're looking at 65 quid at a small comiccon. That's the lowest you'll probably ever pay at a small comiccon. So they go up to 85. I think Blackpool's 100 this year. Is it? And then you're looking at the bigger ones, the bigger events and stuff. So Monopoly is Monopoly 600 for us. 300.
But don't forget the VIP tables. Are they like 1,200 quid? And
1,000 weekend.
And then they make booths.
The booths.
Yeah, that's some. The VIP booth.
We got a booth once at Liverpool, which was 1,400 and something pound. for the weekend, and it's the case. Yeah, we made our money back and we made a decent profit and blah 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 blah.
But you had to sell a hell of a lot of frames to do that. And like Kay said, if you'd then put on top of the price of actually how much time you'd spent on each one, then
you're not making anything.
All of a sudden you've got no profit.
And then you're adding your hotel on top that you need to think. Otherwise,
your petrol.
Petrol, and then the food and stuff for stopping over and stuff. So we really do find our website is where our profit is. It's where our profit
way of doing it.
It's where our profit is thing. But using comiccons as marketing.
Yeah.
Not
introducing people to something new as well. The amount of time sort of so men often pass the stall and see The Exorcist, but all sparkly, and they're intrigued. And then they get closer and realise how many of these little things are actually put on by hand to create the end image, and they're fascinated. And then you get chatting to them about diamond art. Diamond art has a lot of useful, it's great for therapy, it's great for keeping people calm and relaxed. It's a really relaxing thing to do, even though when somebody first showed me 7-8 years ago, I took one look and said, not a chance could I do that. And now here I am, traveling the country, meeting with loads of great customers, traders, and we're having a ball.
I think it's also evolved from, like I said, because like I said, from you had the cross stitching, the knitting. So it kind of works with that, really.
Yeah.
The scratching one. I can't remember the other one with the little where you scratch the dragon or of a print thing. Yeah. So it's kind of like that, isn't it? And it keeps you, gives you a hobby to do and keeps your mind occupied and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like I say, we do like the comiccons. It is like, so if you're doing comiccons, so if anybody wants to become a trader and stuff, don't think that you're going to make your fortune at comiccons and stuff.
You won't.
You won't.
You're not going to be a millionaire.
No, you got to enjoy it, and you got to enjoy the comiccons. I mean, even when comiccons are dead, we end up going to the Q&As or going
the
on
panels and stuff,
or enjoying the Comic-Con ourselves, because there's two of us. One of us mans the stall while the other one goes wandering around.
You disappear for hours.
Watching.
Well, I do the same. We've got a big one in July. Me and my husband will be trading, but my daughter and her best friend are going to come along to help, because we've already booked some photo ops with guests that we were like, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to do it. So they get to go to the Comic-Con and we get to have a break as well.
That's great.
I mean, it's brilliant at conventions as well, because you get to meet like guests and stuff, and before they come in, I mean, Walking Dead, we've got this Walking Dead frame, and you'll be able to help me out with a name, Paul. Is it Pollyann McIntosh?
Yeah.
From The Walking Dead. The one with we can swear on the podcast, can't we? The one with the
we can.
haircut, as she says.
And she's tall. Yeah, she's very tall.
Very.
Yeah, Rick Coates says she's got a shit haircut. So she's got one of these in a house. So one of our customers obviously went over to get her to sign it and stuff. And then at the end of the day, she came over and goes, "Are you the one who does the frames? Do you have a?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." It's like, "Oh, can I buy one?" I said, "No, you can have one as long as I can get a picture with you." It's like, "Yeah, holding it." It's like, "Yeah, of course." It's like, there you go. So we were both happy. I'm happy with my photograph. She's happy with her frame, and went off. So, and things like we did For the Love of Horror when the Lost Boys were there, and me and my little brother, because Hannah's not big on horror. So I took my little brother instead to help me with this stall. And we're both big Lost Boys fans. We couldn't believe it. We were stood there and Tim Capello's doing his warm-up.
Like sound checking
on the stage. And there's just me and my brother just stood there. Nobody else around. Everybody else is setting up. We've set up. And we just stood there, like, looking at each other, going, what? He's singing I Still Believe, and there's just me and you just stood there.
It can be very surreal at times, can't it?
Yeah. And you get loads of guests like walking round and seeing and having a look.
Remember that time you were Doctor Who's assistant?
Yeah, I was Doctor Who's assistant once as well.
Wow.
Who was it?
Colin Baker.
Colin Baker, yeah.
Oh.
Colin Baker, because guests get a handler.
You love a Doctor Who.
They get a handler to look after him. And his handler had wandered off at end of day. And so he's got all his bags to carry. He said, yeah, he's getting on a little bit now. And he's got these big bags and stuff. And he's like looking round and looking lost, like, who's going to help me with my bags? And I thought, this is my moment to become the doctor's assistant.
That's why you was there. Yeah, that was the only reason you was there.
Yeah, and I'm telling everybody I was the doctor's assistant once, and his sidekick. And I'm like, I'll help you to your car there, Colin. Grab your bags. So I took his bags to the car and stuff.
So before we end, guys, we've got to talk a little bit about Lytham. Are we excited about Lytham Comic Con?
Very.
Yeah.
See, I like this the local ones, and like we did last year with you, didn't we, guys? And honestly, it was great because people were travelling, so but we also got to meet local people that we didn't know before that were into the same sorts of things that we are. I now have people come to the workshop that I met through last year's Comic-Con.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Well, it's same. We've got like customers that it saves us on post and packaging, which is costing a fortune.
I'll just drop it off around the corner.
Yeah, dropping a frame off around the corner. Yeah, I've got a bag full of frames. There's a guy in Blackpool now, isn't there? That he
and there's a family in Fleetwood, isn't there? Where his little boy's got
quite a few.
So that's on the 2nd of August at the Lowe's Pavilion Theatre.
Yeah.
Are we looking? Are we all set up? Are we all ready for it? Are we? Because you're not also just a trader. You are the actual director, the organizer.
Yeah, for us.
So I run the indoors. So the trade, like you've got lots of people obviously have applied for stores. We're fully inside now, but we do still have outdoor places. And then I have to try and turn that into like a plan of like where everyone's going to be, ensuring that, like we've talked about, people have got enough room, there's room in between the stalls, all those sorts of things, people with accessibility needs, people that need like walking space, like all those sorts of things I've had to consider. But actually comic book frames wise, we've got 2 events, have we, before Lytham? Leeds and the Star Wars meetup. So we've got a couple of events before that. So it probably won't be, so far as your stock, it probably won't be till after the Star Wars event that you'll be like, right, okay, what do I need to make for Lytham?
We've got to still find someone. We had our little brother last year run our stall for us. So, but we might find somebody else, or we might get him to do it. But we haven't decided. We haven't decided yet what we're going to do. Who's going to run the stall yet? But it obviously can't be
some favours when it's this sort of thing, because you'll be outside running around and I'll be inside running around.
Yeah.
So try and pull in some favours to actually get someone to stand
get one of our friends to come along.
But you did a great job last year, guys. You really did. So more of the same.
Yeah. And again, it's really looking at it from a trader's point of view.
Yeah.
And going, right, what do the traders want? What do they want? And trying to.
And I think that's where you guys have a bit of an advantage, really, because as traders, you know the pitfalls and what a trader really needs. Sometimes there are other organisers that have never traded. They are just purely organisers. But you guys have got the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
I've been there when they've been to the venue with the tape measures and saying how much space the traders need. They really look into it and look after you guys.
Yeah, because there's sometimes when you're going, oh no, you'll be able to push the tables, and it's like, no, you can't. No.
You have to squeeze another row in. No, you can't squeeze a row in.
Because
well, like you say, other organisers.
If you do this, because the traders just, because they have a minimum requirement type thing, and we'd like to say that we'd meet that minimum requirement. And
the best thing about it as well is it's free entry, so you're actually helping the traders by not charging anybody ticket monies.
that was one of the points of doing it.
Kept the table costs to absolutely the minimum amounts we needed to charge, obviously, because we've got venue costs and things like that. But so we've kept it as cheap as possible. And we're just hoping, like I say, because it's free entry, we're doing a lot of marketing and a lot of like social media stuff and all that sort of stuff, just to try and get people, you know, through the door so that traders can meet people and sell stuff.
I've got friends that have moved up here from Dorset, and they've never been to a Comic-Con, and we're bringing them with us to live them.
Because again, we were like, oh, there's a lot of traders taking a lot of risks, and the organisers are getting paid for footfall coming through, but the risk for them isn't there because the traders have already paid for the venue.
Exactly,
And I'm like, that isn't fair, because the traders are just taking the risk. The organisers aren't taking the risk because they're still going to get
they've already made their money before they even started.
Before they started,
they've made a massive profit before anybody's even walked through the door.
Yeah.
The danger of that, though, is that that's all that they become bothered about then.
Yeah.
Well, because like you just said about space, they'll just go, how many tables can we fit in? They go, oh, we'll just do 60. We'll just do 80. We'll just do that. They're not bothered about how much the person needs to just say, that's your space. That's what you're getting. So tough, basically.
It becomes about the money and not about the guest experience or the customers or the traders. It just becomes another retail expo event that people don't care about. That's the difference with Comic-Con. Like last year, you could tell it was really well organised, it was well run, and honestly, the customers' feedback on the day was incredible. And they were like, is this happening again?
Yeah.
Because you could feel the difference. And if the customers can feel the difference, we certainly can.
Yeah. And I mean, again, it wasn't going to happen because of obviously we couldn't get Marine Hall again. So and then people were like, oh, can you do it? And we ran round and we checked everywhere and
we were like,
is there a venue that we can do it? But now we know that there's a couple of venues now. So even if like it doesn't work out for some reason in Lytham, you know, we've got one in Blackpool that we can turn around and go, oh, we can do that next year there type thing. So it's actually helped us look around and go, right, what venues are actual local around here that they can actually use, which we thought there was none, but we managed to find 3. We had a lot of people's suggestions, but like you said, you didn't want just to go stick it in that building, that's it. It was never about stick it in this building, we're going to run it, because like I said, it's not for profit. Yeah. It isn't about just it'd be all right type thing.
No, we didn't want to run a smaller event than Fleetwood either, because we'd made such a big impact in Fleetwood. Like Kay said, loads of people were talking about it in one of the next days. If we'd have then just done a smaller venue in Fleetwood, people have been like, oh, it's not the same. Like we were really conscious that actually it worked because of all the free events and because of the guests and because of the workshops and all those sorts of things all coming together was why it worked. So the last thing we wanted to do was try and squeeze it into a venue just to say we've done it. Which is why I've ended up in Lytham, isn't it? Because Lytham's got such a big outdoor space that not only
it's a beautiful place,
everything we had last time, but we've also now got wrestling. They've got their own massive space outside. So like we were conscious, weren't we, that we wanted to add to it. We didn't want to be restricted.
But also things like when picking traders as well. So for instance, with Kay, we wouldn't then go and get another Diamond Dart trader to come in. But there is other organisers that would do that. It's
you could have 3 or 4 of the same things.
Selling type thing. And it's like, no, because then we're splitting the profit of them 2 companies. And it's not fair on the company that's already there, and it's not fair on the company that's trying to get in. Because you're just going to split each other's profits because, you know, I've had it many a times. We've had about 12, I would say, traders apply, and we've had to say no because we have something similar already. Simply because it's just not fair on the person. And they're like, oh, it's not just that the customer doesn't want to see 30 tables of the same thing. They just don't. And and we'd rather have a small number of traders and then go around cherry pick. We didn't really need to put it out there about traders neither.
No,
If I was
massively.
to change anything about this year, what I've done this year, I wouldn't have put out a trader request because indoors, everybody near enough wants to come back. I think
Yeah, it was done. Yeah.
And then we brought in an extra, is it 3 or 4 different ones that
who are all doing different things.
Who are doing completely
Some people doing
different
things that we've never seen before that are like, oh, that's going to be good.
Yeah.
That like we're like, as people that want to go to comic-cons as well, we think, well, people will appreciate that. That's different. That's
yeah. I know a majority of them are local, so we the joys of doing a Google form is that you can then put it into a pie chart and it tells you like where everybody's from. So you can have like the Fylde Coast and stuff, and who's from the Fylde Coast and who's from Lancashire and who's further afield. And we're up at like 80% of people are from the Fylde Coast regarding our traders. So we do have a few from. So we got Dario and we got the comic books coming down from Scotland, but everybody else is either from the Fylde Coast, local, or from Lancashire. So yeah, so we kept it local as well. Kept the traders.
Which again
local.
is keeping the cost down for the traders because none of those people are now having to do hotels. Just drive home.
Yeah, so I would tick for the traders, thinking, oh well, if instead of getting somebody from Norwich to come up and trade at Lytham, it's a case of because then they'll need a hotel and that lot, and it's going to eat into the profits.
Yeah.
Right, let's just stick with the local people to where we're holding it.
Yeah.
And you know, everybody then wins.
Yeah.
And you're going to get them repeat sales. Well, you're not paying post and package again, like I
said. You can deliver.
You can just drop it off. We've come to the end, guys. But before we finish, do you want to give a shout out to your website? Oh, for UK, your Facebook.
Go on, Kay, you go first.
So we're the Devils Diamondz on Facebook. Fairly easy to find. We're currently in the middle of redoing all the albums because we've had such a lot of new designs in. So that'll all be updated this week. And then we'll be back working on the website and hopefully have that launched for August, I'm hoping.
Yep.
Thank you.
For us, it's our website is comicbookframesuk.com. And we have over 230 odd A4 frames. Now we're going to be doing the same amount for things, so like over 400 different frames.
Working your way through the landscapes as well. So you're better off
working through my list.
Jump to your genre and having a scroll through. So that's the way to do it.
But we're also on Facebook. And we do have an Instagram account, but we don't keep it updated. But you know, we do have that as well. And on Facebook, it's just Comic Book Frames. And just give us a search for it.
And we'll also see you at the Comic-Con on August the 2nd.
Yes.
We're looking forward to it.
And we are too.
So thank you for joining us, guys. We'll see you soon. Good
see
night.
you soon.
Cheers.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well,